Hi, this is Rachel Reid, and welcome to another episode of Amplified, where we make God larger, greater, louder, and more powerful in our lives. Thank you for joining us again for another episode, and we look forward to another 15 minutes where we can share and encourage one another in the words of God. And I want to encourage you to just get somebody to come join you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share right now if you haven't done so. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and do that right now. And if you haven't had a chance to go to my website, go to rachelreid.net. That's rachelreid.net, and you can hear a little bit more about me if you wanted to know a little bit more. Some of you have been asking me a little bit, do you have any more information about yourself? And I don't use this program to say about myself or anything like that, because this is about you and I spending 15 minutes just to encourage ourselves. So if you get a moment, go ahead and go to rachelreid.net to know more about me. But right now, we want to go ahead and start to share, just dive into something right now. And the name of the program is kind of weird. I'll blame it on my daughter. She said, Mom, just call it what it is. And it is Besties. We're going to call it Besties. And why Besties? Well, you know what? He's my bestie. Jesus is my God. He's my best friend. He really is. And I know a lot of you guys have other best friends that you could say you have best friends, and as many do. But he is our bestie. Those of us that have chosen and decided to follow Jesus, and he is your best friend. How many of those can say, that's me, and Jesus is my bestie? He is my bestie. And what does that mean for me? I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you, actually. You know, those of you that have your best friends, you know, you can call them, you can talk to them, you can laugh with them, you can go out with them, you can do whatever it is that you can confide in them, or whatever it is that you do with your best friend. Well, let me tell you one thing about Jesus. He is our friend. He is a friend that sticks closer than any brother. He's a friend that, you know, he's always with us no matter what. He's a friend that you can count on. You know, sometimes we may have our best friends in this earth and in this world. We may have our best friends, but sometimes they let us down because they're human. You know, we have our friends that are, you know, sometimes they said they're going to do something and they forgot. Oops. You know, of course they'll say sorry, but they forgot, you know, and it makes you feel sad because they really forgot something that was important to you. Well, Jesus doesn't do that. He does not forget. He always remembers about the things that we care about. He's there for us to pick us up when we fall. He's there to encourage us when we feel discouraged. He's there to love us when we feel unloved. And I'm here to talk to you that may be saying, what about me? I don't have a best friend, or maybe you don't know Jesus as a best friend, or you don't know what that means to have a friend. And, you know, I don't want you to say, well, I got a lot of friends, I don't need this program. You know what? Then you missed the whole point. That's not really what I'm talking about. It is, but it's not. You know, we have to have God, you know, so fully formed in our heart, so fully formed in our lives that he is everything that we need. So whenever we are going through a time when we need a friend and we're struggling with what to do, we should be able to go to him right away and talk to him and say, God, I need you right now. I need an encouraging word. You know, I need to hear from you. I need to know what to do. And then he becomes that for you. You know, this opportunity to do Amplified, I'm going to tell you right now, it is not about me. This is about an encouraging word for you. Every time I do these episodes, I'm always saying, God, what would you want me to say? What would you want me to do? What do you want me to encourage other people with? What are some things, God, that are important to the people of God? What is important to the audience out there? What do they want to hear, God? Show me. You know, and that's one thing that God put in my heart. He said, talk about friendship. Talk about what that means. You know, for those of you that have a lot of friends, I'm glad that you do. But is Jesus your number one friend? Is he your first person you go to when something's going on? Is he the first person you go to when you got to tell somebody something? Is he the first person that you want to say when you're brokenhearted? Is he the first person that you want to go to when you need direction and guidance? Let me tell you something. It's important to have him as your bestie. It's important. I'm saying it with all my heart. It's important that he becomes that friend to you, that he becomes the person that you go to when you need direction, when you need guidance, when you need just to feel loved, when you feel encouraged, when you need that encouragement, or when you need the words to speak. Yes, again, Amplified. Amplified is where we talk about things, about how to speak and how to say things, how to speak what God says. Yes, it's important to know what to say to someone when they don't know what to do. It's important that you and I be that encouragement for the person that doesn't know what to do, that doesn't know how to say something. You might not know what to say. I might not know what to say. But one thing that we can say is say, you know what? Go to God. He's our best friend. Why don't you go to Jesus to share with you? You know, John 15:15 says, I have no longer called you slaves, because the slave doesn't understand what his master's doing. But I have called you friends. because I have revealed to you everything I've heard from my Father. He says we're his friends. We're his friends. I don't know about you, but I'm glad that he called me friend. I'm so excited to know that he says that I'm his friend. How does it feel when somebody tells you that they're your friend? When somebody says, hey, that's my friend, doesn't it make you feel good? Oh, they're my friend. Oh, they sit down and, oh, that's so cool. I'm their friend. It makes you feel great to know that somebody calls you a friend. Well, he called you a friend. He called me a friend. We're his friends. And not only that, the Word of God says that he wants us to, be friends to one another. We need to be friends with one another. Proverbs 17:7, a friend loves at all times. If you want to have a friend, are you loving people? Are you showing yourself friendly to people? That's important. Some people may be sitting right there, well, I don't have any friends. Well, are you friendly? Are you showing, love to others, and are you communicating with others and just saying hi to others? And, sometimes we don't know how to make friends because we don't know what to say or do. Just love somebody. Just encourage somebody to say hi, or, whatever it is to, that you need to make a friend. That's what you have to do. Like, you just need to say hello to somebody. You just smile at somebody, wave at somebody. Sometimes it's difficult to know what to say or do to make friends. But I want to encourage you. Be a friend of Jesus first. Say, God, be my friend. He already said he was, but he also wants you to say to him, Lord, I want you to be my friend. He already calls us friend. But what about you saying that? What about you saying, God, I want you to be my friend. Can I be your friend? Learn to be a friend with him. Make him your bestie. And as you do that, he'll surround you with others that are just like him, just like you. Because you know what? One thing that I can tell you is those of us that love the Lord and seek the Lord, man, we just seem to kind of mesh together. We kind of just seem, you know why? Because we're one. Because I and the Father are one. A lot of times I run into people and it's like they know me and I know them. How is that? Because we know the Father. Because we know the Father. Because we know the Lord. And because we know what he loves. And we love what he loves. It just seems like we just blend together. It just seems like we know each other. Those of you that know what I'm talking about, it's like we just know each other. It's just like we just feel like we've known him forever. I haven't, but I know people forever, but I haven't. But it just seems like it because we love what the Father loves. We think about the things the Father thinks about. 1 Corinthians 6:17, but the one united with the Lord is one spirit with him. There's one Spirit, one Lord, one Father. There's only one. And if we all live to that, well, we're all seeking what he loves. We're all serving the things that honor him. We're saying the things that honor him. When you do what he loves, like for example, think about somebody that you love right now. Think about your friend right now. Those of you that have best friends, just think about your friend right now. How would you feel if they did something that you didn't like? Wouldn't that hurt your feelings? What if they did something that you're like, you can't believe they did that. I can't believe they said that about me. Or I can't believe they did that about me. Wouldn't that make you feel kind of, betrayed? Wouldn't that make you feel kind of, well, I thought they knew me better. I thought they knew me and they still did that. Well, let me tell you, sometimes our friends may do things, but not knowingly, and they accidentally hurt your feelings, But let me tell you something, Jesus will never do that for you. He will never do that for us. We just have a friend in Jesus that he just loves us so much, and he wants you to know him like that. He wants you to know him like that because we're joined to the Lord. You and I are joined to him, and he wants us to be one in him. Let's become one in him. The reason that I said that little thing about our friends sometimes say and do things that hurt our feelings is because we're human. We're human, and we accidentally say and do things that we don't mean. And sometimes we rely more on our earthly friends, and we rely more on the friends that we can see and that we're around all the time and we're hanging out with all the time. We rely on them to be, all these things to us. We rely on them to be everything to us. We rely on them just for all kinds of fun and whatever we need. But then when they let you down, it seems like your whole world falls apart. Jesus would want us to look to him. Jesus would want us to think of him as our best friend. He wouldn't want us to look at him and say, you know what, they're thinking about me. They want to talk to me. They want to hang around me. When you have a friend, you want to hang around with them. You want to hang out. You want to talk. You want to go out and do things. Well, Think about it that way. I want to talk to God. I want to talk to Jesus about everything. I want him to know what's in my heart. I want to express how I feel to him. I want him to be around me. I want to be around him. I want to do the things that please him. I want to do the things that make him happy. You know, when you have friends, don't you want to do things that are nice for them? Don't you want to do things that make them happy? Don't you want to do things for your friends that they're just proud of it? You know, oh, I can't believe they did that for me, you know, right? That's what you do, friends. That's what you do for each other. You know, and if some of you are saying, well, I would never know, I don't have a friend. You know what? You do. Jesus is that. Let him be your friend. Get to know him like that. Get to know Jesus and tell him. Open up your mouth and say, God, I want to know you like that. I want to know you as my friend. You know, he knows the things you're going through, and he may know the challenges that you have to make friends. He may know that you have a difficult time to make friendships. He may know that you have a difficult time trusting in others, maybe because you've been betrayed so many times. He may know that it's difficult for you to say something first because you might mess it up and you don't want to say anything first. He knows the things that you're going through, the challenges that you have to maybe make friends with others. Why don't you talk to him about that? Why don't you say, God, help me to make a friend. Help me to be able to open up my mouth and share what I want to share from my heart. You know, the Lord would want us to have friends, and the Lord would want us to talk to others and to be able to say things and say, I appreciate you to others. And I'm going to tell you something. One thing about Amplified right here, I'm telling you, you know, we just, as believers, those of us that love the Lord, it's okay to share with Jesus the things that you don't, you know, maybe others don't need to know things, but you can talk to Jesus about the things that matter to you. Some of you are saying, well, I don't have a friend to talk to. Well, Jesus is right there, and he's got his ear right there saying, I hear you. I hear you. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to him. I want to encourage you to talk to Jesus. I want to encourage you to open up your mouth and just tell him all the things that you have in your heart. He wants to hear you. He's there to listen. He's there to talk to you because he wants to be your bestie. He wants to be your friend because he is a friend that sticks closer, like I said, than anyone. He sticks closer than anyone you think. And perhaps you're saying, I can't trust God because everyone else around me has betrayed me. Let me tell you something. God is not a man. He's not a man. He's our God. You know, he's perfect in all his ways. He's the only person perfect in all their ways. He's perfect, and he will never leave you or forsake you. He will never hurt us. He will never disappoint. He doesn't do that. We're the ones that unfortunately don't know how to, you know, keep our word sometimes. Allow the Lord, allow Jesus to just come into your heart and just fill it up with joy, fill it up with strength, fill it up with whatever it is the thing that you need to fill the void that perhaps you may have. And I want to tell you, begin to know God like that. Begin to know him as your best friend. Begin to know him like that. And I want to pray that God begins to build relationships in your life, that begins to build friendships in your life, that he begins to build godly friendships. Let me backtrack. Godly friendships, godly relationships. Because if they're not founded in God, if the foundation isn't in God, that's why sometimes they break up. That's why sometimes they don't work. I want you to think about some of your friendships. Just make sure that they are rooted and grounded in Jesus Christ. Make sure that Jesus is in the middle of your friendships. Make sure that he's in the middle of your relationships and everything that you're doing. Because, you know, just like Jesus wants to be your bestie, think about the besties you have around you right now. And just thank him for them. And make sure that they are in him. It's important. And I hope that you and I can become besties in Jesus. In Jesus. You know, because I'm always looking forward to the opportunity to share with you. I'm always looking for the opportunity to just share Jesus with you, to share the truth of God with you. And I pray and I hope that you are doing the same. That's what this program is about, is speaking words of life into your world, into others around you, into those that you see every day, into your family, your friends, and anyone else. So I want to encourage you to allow the word of God to be in your mouth. Let the words of God, I know one thing I say every single time that I end this program, I always say that his words are unchangeable, they're unmovable, they're unshakable, they're stronger than a two-edged sword. His word will never pass away. So begin to speak words of life into your world. And until next time, I want you to continue to speak words of life and share this program with somebody that you know that wants to be amped up. So until next time, thank you for watching Amplified, where we make God larger, greater, louder, and more powerful in our lives. Until next time, bye now.